Welcome back or welcome to the Cables, Lace, and Tails podcast. My name is Sue. I am a maker from northwestern Wisconsin. Today is a remote learning day due to the severe extreme cold that we are experiencing. I looked on my phone at 8 o'clock this morning and jotted down the temperature at that time. The temperature was minus 16 Fahrenheit, otherwise minus 26 Celsius, and it felt like minus 30 or minus 34 Celsius. Now, I live in Wisconsin, United States, so we always use Fahrenheit. So if I just say, oh, it was minus 20, I mean Fahrenheit. Anyway, so it's chilly, it's bright, it's sunny, it's a beautiful day to finish things for Finish It February. I have finished some things. Now, I mentioned last time I would show you my sleeping socks that were in the wash. This is that pair. I did a little contrast for one of the cuffs, and they're lovely. So I decided I wanted another pair of these because my feet get really cold due to a frostbite injury I literally gave myself as a teenager. I wanted to go snowmobiling. I did not believe in socks at that time. I thought they were superfluous, that, teenagers and their thoughts. And so I wore two pairs of cotton summer socks, canvas tennis shoes, long underwear under my jeans, and I remember driving the snowmobile at one point at 80 miles an hour in sub-zero weather at night. When I got off the snowmobile, I was with my boyfriend at the time, and we were in high school, and parents were like, nope, it's time for you to go home. And I got into my mom's car, and my two best friends lived next door to each other, and I was dating one of my best friend's brothers. And I drove to my other friend's house, and by the time I got by her driveway, I thought, I'm going to lose my feet if I don't stop, because I could not feel past like mid shin. So thankfully her mom took care of me. Thankfully her mom saved my feet. But to this day, if my feet are cold, I can't fall asleep. Now that I have another pair, look how pretty these are. Woo, little contrast up top, just for fun. I've used up most of this yarn. The only yarn I have left is in my Bargello bag. I may show that, I may not. Anywho, yeah, I love them. These are going in the wash now because I wore them last night, and off they go. Anyway, so that is my one completely finished object. I have some other stuff in the works, of course. So I want to show you my Lopi. Bottom of my Lopi sweater has not changed since last week. I decided, I recorded last Thursday, posted it last Thursday. On Friday, I had off due to a doctor's appointment I had to go to, not for myself, for my husband. And when I got home, I thought, well, I have all this time now, and I have the day off. I will watch my favorite show, or I have many, but one of my favorite shows, and I'm going to work on my sleeve. And I was working and I was working, and I was going around and around, and I thought, boy, this is really tight. I didn't think it was supposed to be this tight. Excuse me. Why is it so tight? And I'm like, well, how long do I have to knit for? I wonder how long this is. So I measured the sleeve. The sleeve measured 8 inches, okay? And it was really tight. And then I looked at my book, which I have right here. And, it does give you the instructions that you need, but it doesn't give you much else. However, I failed to read everything because you were supposed to increase 4 stitches right after the ribbing, which I did not do. And you're supposed to increase 2 stitches on either side of the marker for a total of 7 increases, so 14 stitches. Here's my stitch markers now. So I had to rip it all back and start all over. It was a little bummer, but I am using 4 needles to knit around with the 5th needle, you know. I like the 4 needles for this better because the yarn is so big. For socks, I can get away with 3 needles on here with my extra. So it's coming along. It fits a lot better. It fits a lot better. I was a little bummed. I was like, oh man, I did all this work. You know, that was a couple hours worth of work. At least an hour and a half because I was watching an episode, but it fits good. I like it. It's not too tight. It's fitting over my long sleeve shirt just right. So that is nice. And I can already tell how warm it's going to be. It's going to be like a beautiful hug. Like you put it on and you're just going to be just right on those cold days. So that's all I got on my my Foyka sweater. And I've shown the picture numerous times, so I'm just going to show you the one here. So this is a different colorway, essentially the same colors, but just a different way. So I'm excited to continue on that. I'm going to put that over here. And I have decided to fix it, finish it, figure it out. So, where are they? I made these socks, oh God, years ago. These were like my 3rd or 4th pair of socks. It is using the Mani Pedi Lion Brand discontinued yarn. I wear these all the time, and if you can see right here, I started getting a little bit of a hole. So I just got some leftover. I had some of this color yarn left over, and there's the other one. It was in the same spot, so it was obviously a tension issue with them being washed and worn over the years, and it just got weak, and I thought, I'm just going to mend it, and now I can wear them again. Fix it. And I did find my first pair of inserts I made. This is with the Knit Picks Wool of the Andes sport weight yarn. I think it's like forest heather or something like that. These are not the same size. These are not the same. I tried felting these because that's what the ladies said in my yarn group. They're like, you should make the size large because they're going to be felted and you're going to need the large. So I may try to finagle these into my boots, and if they have to sit up, yes, you're a good girl. Now it's okay. There's a car parked out across the street. It's voting day in Wisconsin. I did vote. Hey, it's just a primary. Nelly, shh. So it's not real busy, but you know, she's bored. Anyway, so I found them. They were in a yarn bag with the extra yarn for my pixelated sweater. I mean, I've been looking for these for months, and there they were. Now, if I could only find the one pattern book I've been looking for the last week. So, which I put in a very special spot. So, now, I am going to talk about my socks. I am making another pair of socks using that Mani Pedi yarn. This is my last skein of it, and I realized why these have been languishing. I love the colors. I am a child of the 70s and 80s. I had rainbow quilt for my bed when I was growing up. I like the rainbows, you know, Rainbow Bright was popular, but more my sister's age group. The Care Bears, my sister's age group, had the Rainbow Bear, and, you know, rainbows were fun. Lucky Charms, you know, the whole bit. I mean, the yarn isn't bad. When I wear those socks that I have over there, I like them. They're not scratchy, it's not too much, but the yarn is so thin. It's just so thin, and there's no like, well, there's just a little bit of elasticness to it, just a little. But it's just not, in our craft of knitting or sewing or crochet or macrame or anything, when you're using your hands, it's very tactile. And if it's not pleasant for your hands, you don't want to do it. So I thought to myself, how can I make myself finish these? Period. Because I would like another pair of socks. So I can make another pair of socks using Paton's yarn. Because I do like Paton's yarn. It's the only other sock yarn I have used. But I do like it a lot. I thought, you know what? On Friday, I dropped my husband off at his appointment, and I had to run some errands. And somehow my car just showed up at Joann's. It just traveled there by itself. But I wanted to get some sock yarn, and Paton's is a Canadian company. I don't think I need to say more right at this moment, because if you pay attention, you know. So I started working on, I just have like a few rows. Now, this is the color coal. I am making these for somebody else. They're not for me. And they did not have many color selections. They had a teal, which I did not buy, and I'm kind of sad I didn't now. And then they had a purple, like a lavender, deep lavender, lilac, something to that effect. I did get one of those. And then they had a variegated one, like a self-striping one, and I did pick up 2 of those. So this yarn last night, when I was casting both, I cast on both socks at the same time. I mentioned this before, it keeps me on track, so they're about the same amount done. I'm doing a 3 knit 1 purl ribbing, so a 3x1 ribbing, and I was working on this. I do have to use my neck light or sunlight because it is black yarn, but it's so soft, and it's springy, and it's thicker, and I was like, oh yeah, I do like working with socks. Why am I letting the other one languish so bad? And then I felt it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's just not fun to knit with. So now, in order to get these socks done, I'm going to have to finish my other pair so I can get those needles onto these. And I learned a nice trick from Knitting Group Anne. When you want to change needles, instead of like taking the needle off and hoping for the best, you just knit with the new needle. So I would just grab I don't want to take the one out. There it is. I would just grab the extra one, and then I would like knit, and then this would be the next needle, which easy peasy. So working on socks, it was really fun. Last night I had a little bit too much fun casting on a few different items because I figured, why not? Why wait? And it helps inspire me. So, because I need to feel inspired by my stuff. If I don't feel inspired by it for whatever reason, the texture isn't right, the problems are too big, and I don't know what to do, it languishes. And I don't want it to languish because it's important for me to, we don't want to do that, finish what I start. So I'm going to put this down. As you know, my kitties like to play with my stuff, and right now they're sleeping. So I am happy for that. My dog is sleeping on the couch. My cats are sleeping over yonder. Now, one thing I have been really diligently working on is my Emrys Cardigan from the Knit Picks Homestead Cables collection. I'm going to just show a picture real quick. Try not to get the glare. Okay. Now, I did mess up on the arm. I'm hoping that with blocking, and maybe it was just because of what I was wearing earlier, it just seemed like it was kind of bulky here. I'm hoping with blocking it changes. So I'm pretty sure it will. And I am using Lion Brand's Fisherman's Wool in the color Oatmeal. I did not, when I bought this, I did not pay attention to lot numbers or die lots. So some of it was 19 and some of it was 18. You can kind of tell, but now I can't tell. I don't know if it's just because I've become blind to what it looks like from far away, but I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. They were very similar in color. One was a little lighter, one was a little darker. But right before, since it was a remote learning day, I was able to use some of my pay time off, and I got paid to knit my sweater. And I'd still have to do the weaving in the ends, and I still have to block it and add the buttons. But it is done. It is off the needles. Okay, I'm gonna try it on and just see. The length is good on the arms. It's just I don't know what I did for the top cap, and sometimes I don't pay attention to it, which is obviously. So it's a little bulky up here, see? But in the picture of the model, it was like it was really stretched down. So I don't know. Right now my shirt underneath is all bunchy, so it doesn't feel right. Oh, yeah. Now, see, it's a little bunchy. I'm hoping, like with blocking, I can make it so it sits a little better. Usually blocking will, like, everything will loosen up and relax, but I did add a couple more rows to the shawl collar because I like my neck warm, so it can go up a little bit. And then I did let this languish a little bit because I was so afraid of buttonholes. Do I make the buttonholes? Should I make the buttonholes? So this past weekend, I said to myself, you won't know if you need to make the buttonholes until you start making it. So you better start going. So I decided, while watching Columbo, I love Columbo. Oh, the 70s. What a nice, sweet time. So I did a practice. I don't know which side is which. I think that's the front. I did a practice. No, that's back. And I just put some stitches on, and then I just practiced my buttonhole. This is the second one I've done. So I got the technique down. I don't think it's amazingly good. I will tear this apart in a little bit because I don't need to keep it any longer. But this morning, I worked on my collar. So you all the way, all the way up and around, all the way up and around. So I was on the wrong side, and I was doing this row all the way around, and then you start the buttonholes. I don't know if there was a misprint in the pattern book, but I couldn't do the 14 stitches between them, but I don't know if they were counting that last stitch of the buttonhole. I don't know. So I figured out how to get 5 buttons on this. And you can't even see. Oh, look at that. There's one. That's the first one. Second, third, fourth, and the last one is way down here. And I actually had an extra stitch left over when I did 13 stitches between each one. So I mean, they look pretty good. If I have to, tidy it up a little bit, because, it was my first time. And it does look like the picture. Now, the book gave the same instructions as my Vogue knitting book, But when I followed the instructions in Knit Picks book, I didn't understand. I was just like, this, it wasn't making sense. However, and I know what page it's on, 254. So I looked in here and I found one row horizontal button row. And then I was able to read and look at the pictures and figure it out. Now, I had done it the way that the Knit Pick said with the 14, but I was only going to get 4 buttons instead of 5 buttons. I don't know what I did. And then I think back. That was no easy task. That took a bit of time this morning, but I did it. And then I redid it and I figured it out. I just used stitch markers. Like I did the first one where I was supposed to, right here. I did the first one because there was a marker here and I knew where I was supposed to be. So I did that one and then I counted, I was going to do 12, but then 12 would have been too much space. So I went to 13 and then I did it all the way down. And then I had to do another 3 rows of knitting in pattern. So then you bind off on the wrong side. I decided to bind off in pattern. So knit the knit stitches, purl the purls, and just wearing this right now, oh, it feels so good. It warms my neck. Oh, I'm glad I added an extra couple short rows. That's really nice. And you know, this has the pockets. It's a beautiful cable sweater. So I'm going to weave in the ends. I'm going to give it a nice bath, and then I'm going to lay it out and let it block. And then I get to wear it to school. And I'm so excited. I am so excited to wear this. So excited. It's going to be so nice. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've worked on this sweater. I started it last summer, probably in June. So it's taken, well, let's say, was it June? June or July? We'll say June, just for fun. So July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February. It is 8 months old at this moment. I am hoping to have it all completely finished for, oh shoot, my buttons are way over there. Oh well, you'll see them soon. I got the buttons 12, 13 years ago, and I have 5 left of the same style, and it is a flower, it's like a painted wood flower button. So I'm very excited. I cannot wait for this to be done. I am so looking forward to wearing it. But my cats love it. And when I bought this yarn, I bought it in different stages. I know I got like 2, and then I had like 6 total. So I got like 2, and then maybe I got another 2, or maybe I got 1, and then I got 3, or something to that effect. They were always on sale. I always probably get 2 or 3. Because I like to think, like, if this is a sweater, and there's 465 yards per 100 gram skein, how many do I need? I had 6 left. And last winter, I got a gift card or cash to Joann's, and they had the yarn on sale for $10.50. I got each of those skeins I got for $10.50. They normally go for $14. And so I know I thought I needed more of that oatmeal color. So I got like 1 or 2 more skeins at that time, but I thought I had enough of the brown, the darker brown. Turns out I got the wrong kind. Anyway, so I have two 100-gram skeins plus about a half of one. So I figured even on the low side, I have about 200 yards because it's about half left of that one skein. And I could use that as my main color for the stripe hype sweater. Because AKA Nora Knits, she used that same yarn as her main color. And I thought, well, I have that color. That's a good idea. So, but I haven't casted that one on yet because I didn't know if I was going to have enough. I also figured even if I am playing yarn chicken with the oatmeal color, I could just change it just a little bit so some of the other stripes make a more prominent appearance. So I did that. Let me see. Oh, sorry scarf. Okay, so I was working on my sari scarf and I realized I have to have something boring on or listen to a book because I was not paying attention and I made a ton of mistakes. I fixed them all, but I was making mistakes on the cable pattern. So there's my stitch marker from last Thursday. Did a little bit. I'm past the middle and now I'm working on the decreases. And I'm going to find my glasses because I cannot see. And I'm going to move my stitch marker. But I would like to get this done because I really need to use these needles for something else. And let's see. Yep, I'm going to just keep on working down. There is, so you work, whoops, oh, wrong side. You work from here to here. And over here is where you do the decreases. And in the pattern, I don't know if I'm reading it wrong. I don't know if I'm reading I don't think I'm reading the chart wrong. I think the chart was not printed correctly. Because when you purl two together, I don't know if I'm doing it right. I'm just doing what I think is right, and I'm decreasing that purl two together. But I would say like purl two together, purl. But there isn't another purl, it's a knit stitch. So I'm following the pattern and decreasing that, doing that one decrease on the row that it states it needs to be decreased. So, live and learn. I am learning a lot lately. One thing I am glad about doing this podcast is that it has energized me so much. I'm like, because there's all these things I want to make. And I buy books and I get them like years ago, or I think, oh, I'm going to make this, and then it just languishes because I'm busy working on something, but I'm not inspired to finish it. And so then I kind of just, I don't know what to do, and I'll do dishes instead. I mean, dishes are important, but so is a nice little wardrobe that you're making for yourself with all the mental health that it adds to. So those are my regular works in progress. Now, like I just stated, I bought some pattern books and yarn. Well, the pattern book I got like 2 years ago, maybe 3. I got it off of Amazon. Necessary Knits by Leisure Arts. Leisure Arts used to have these kind of books all over the place. You can't hardly find them anymore. So I saw this. I like that vest, and I thought the cable was nice, and I like this sweater, and I like this sweater, and then there's a picture here. And then I was like, ooh, I really like this sweater. There's a lot of things I like in this book. So, and I thought, I remember when I got this. No, maybe I got this because there's a library thing. I might have gotten it from thrift books from Amazon, because sometimes you can do that as well. This was a library, Mid-Continent Public Library. Interesting. Anyway, if you can find Leisure Knits, they're good, but they don't give you They don't say the model is wearing, is whatever bust and is wearing this size. So, you know, it's sparing that way. It did say to use straight needles. Now, I started it on straight needles, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck. This is gonna be too heavy. It's not gonna work. And then I switched to interchangeable metal needles, and it sucked. It sucked so bad. I was dropping stitches. The needles were too blunt to do the purl through the back loop, purl two together through the back loop. That's a tricky stitch. It's not hard. It's just tricky. And if you're using a blunt needle, it's really hard. Now, I got this yarn last summer in June. I was working at summer school, so I knew it was in the beginning part of June. And I had bought some stuff off of Joann's website because they had a really big deal sale. And I thought, and it was only online. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to just try this. And I did get some other colors, but not enough for a cardigan, even though the green one is my favorite, but I only have 8 skeins, and a cardigan takes more. So I'll make like a t-shirt or a tank top out of that one. This is Joann's brand, and it is cotton. Yeah. I thought it was a poly cotton. It's made in Turkey. It has 107, oh yeah, it is. It's 85% cotton and 15% polyester. It's 107 yards, and it is a 55-gram ball. 55-gram ball. Interesting. And this is color Violet Splash. They probably have other colors. It is, I had so much. So I got some online, and one of they sent it in like 2 or 3 different. Hi Tallulah. Can I? Okay. I bought some yarn. It was a really good deal. I thought, cool, and it came in like 2 or 3 packages, and I was like, cool. First 2 packages, perfectly fine. I was like, how wonderful. I got really, like, I want to say 75% off each skein. You know, or at least 50%, if not 75. So I was very happy. I was like, yay. And then my last package showed up, and it smelled so bad. It smelled like fuel, like diesel or jet fuel, and there was a big black streak on the side and of the package, and it was really bad. I think the package was ripped even, so I put in a Ziploc bag and drove up to Joann's and said, hey, I just got this, showed them my receipts and all that stuff, and it stinks, and I can't wash it out. It smells like fuel. And then I opened it up, and she's like, oh, that is horrible. Okay. And then she said, do you want store credit or back on your card? And I went, store credit, please, because I wanted the yarn, and I figured they would have it in the store. So they did. And I got, I don't remember how many, but I got the rest that was there. And these were normally like $3 or so per skein, and I got it for 75 cents. So I already made my daughter a tank top. If I can find it, I will show you sometime. I made her a tank top, but then I decided I have enough of this yarn to make this cardigan. Show a picture. And I've loved this cardigan. I would love to have it in this green color. This is a simple. They do crochet edging on the neck, and I think the cuffs and the hem, maybe even the button band. So I have little buttons for this. I thought, you know, I'm going to just try it. It's made in pieces, which I do like. So I've started on the back. Um, I am making, it only has 6 sizes. Yeah, it only has 6 sizes. It goes up to a 56 1/4 inch bust finish measurement. I am making the 4th size. So basically, this pattern requires to have, I'm looking for the page, waist shaping, and I'm not going to do the waist shaping. I don't like waist shaping in patterns. I want us, instead of it going in like this and coming back out, I'm just going to have a nice straight side. I can do that for each one. I looked at it. It's basically you decrease and then you increase to the same amount of stitches. So it's the same amount of stitches. So I'm just going to forego that part because I don't want it. And then you just follow the pattern stitch. And I just say start on row 5. So I know I'm on row 5, and that should correspond to the right side. So I started this last night. After the 2 bouts of metal needles, I realized I needed the nice pointy tip. I don't know if you can see. Can you see? When I hold them up, you can't always see. This is the 4 square laminated birch by Knit Picks, and doing the purl 2 together through the back loop. Wonderful. I needed that tiny little pointy end, and I hide everything because why? You have cats. That's right, I have cats. So the pattern is relatively simple. It's coming along. I only did a few rows, well, 4 rows. Well, cast on 5. So that's one. And then I just showed you my black sock. So I casted on 3 new whips last night because I figure, why not? Why wait? And it really inspired me. And because of that, I then said to myself this morning, you're going to learn that button band and you're going to be fine. You're going to be able to do the buttonholes. It's not going to be that hard. It's not going to be that hard. And then the last thing I casted on last night, these are, so the pattern uses a size, for me, my gauge, uses a size 4 needle. I decided with my other, when I dubbed my Christmas sweater, I did size down on the needle for that collar, which is fine. It fits fine. But with something this light, I wanted it to sit further down, so I'm opting to use a size 4 for the collar, and then I'm just going to continue on with the size 4 throughout the body and the color work. I might size up to a size 5 on the color work part, just because I have learned with my Lopi sweater that seems to be working out better. And then also, not that my Christmas sweater got too bunchy, but it kind of feels a little bunchy, so I want this to lay flatter since it's a sport weight yarn. Now, this is the Upcycle Alpaca. My Knit Picks discontinued yarn, but it has equal amounts of wool, alpaca, and acrylic. And it's so lovely. Oh, I love this. Now, I do have in my bin down here, I'm like looking at my bags. I'm trying to remember which one it is. A sweater that I started, and it needs attention. So this is another thing I want to finish. Wrong bag. Is it this one? Yes. No. Oh, here it is. So, stop in here for just one sec. I want to find the book. So this is a Knit Picks book. I got this for $5. I think they still have it on their website for $5. And there is this cardigan. That's the back. And then you can see the front and the sides. And you make it all the way, across and build up. And I was doing really good. I was doing this last summer, and then I made a really bad mistake. And I did not have a lifeline. And then I didn't have a lifeline close, so I went down to the next lifeline, and I put in the lifeline wrong. And then I don't remember who I was watching. I don't remember. But someone stated, I don't know if you can see. Let's see. There's those little keyholes that you use for the interchangeable needles. And then you can put I just have some crochet thread. I just put that in there, and then I knit across, so it should work. And I redid the hem. So this is a biggie. Ooh. Anyway, so it's very long, very long. I want to get this done too. I want these needles back. I thought about taking these needles and using them for something else, but I know once the needles go off, I won't put them back on, and then I don't want to lose steam. So that is one thing I am working on. This is also the upcycle alpaca in the color titanium, and I'm using a 60-inch cord on my interchangeables. So, oh no. So my other figure it out part of all my projects here, and I have one more to figure out, is that I wanted to make like a tank top slip, and I thought to myself, wait, I'm gonna stop for a second. This here is going to be, I'm going to show you the picture. The Finley in my Only Yoking book by Olga Putano. Now, the Finley is this one. I was looking for these. Okay. The Finley is this one right here. I think it's going to look really striking with a light gray and that dark blue. So I am making, I believe, the 6th size. I decided to go up a size because I kind of just want it to be drapey and loose, and I don't want it to sit too close to body. So I am doing that. Now, where was I going? Oh yeah. This, I did take some needles off. I know they're size 6. So this is Paton's linen, which is a combination of 65% cotton and 35% linen, and it gives you 275 yards per 100 gram ball. They don't sell this anymore. It's a DK weight. They don't sell this anymore at Joann's, but I did purchase some. And my thoughts were, I want to make a tank top, but make it into a slip, you know, so I can wear it underneath. Dresses or sweaters, you know. And so I thought, well, the pattern I had gotten off of, I bought it off of Etsy last summer because I was buying a bunch of tanks, and they were all like $2 at the time, and one was not $2, but that was for my daughter. So I got Easy Vest Top pattern. Okay. It doesn't come in a lot of size. Well, it says 4XL. Why didn't I do that? Oh, I know why. Even though it says 4XL, I guess they're not supposed to have any E's built into it, and I don't like that. So the largest size, which is the 4XL, is actually a 46-inch bust, and I thought I wanted a little bigger. So I thought, what is the stitch count? The stitch count for the largest size would be like 122 stitches. So I cast on 160 stitches because I really wanted to be like loosey-goosey. Like, I'm at home and I don't want to wear much and I have this on. I don't know if I made it too big. You know what I mean? Like, how am I going to make it now into this tank top? Do I decrease? So I would have to decrease what? To make it 122, 60, 48 stitches. 32, 42, 52. Yeah, 48 stitches, which would be like 24 decreases before decreasing for the, what do you call it? Armholes. So I got to figure this one out. I was thinking about it. I was like, I should just frog it and start over. But then I got, I got 2 panels and it's really nice. And I mean, it is really large. It might be too large. And then I think, should I just start over? I mean, I did a lot of car knitting with this, which was nice. The yarn is lovely. It has a lot of give. I mean, this one's bigger. And I really got to think about this because I want to use the yarn. I think it's a good color for myself. I want to have it a usable object, but I just didn't. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, I just don't know. Should I have only increased 10 more stitches per one? And that would have been easier. So a little soul searching and a little figuring out for this one because I just don't know. I do not know. What do you know? What do you know, Tallulah? I know I love your yarn, but you don't let me have a play with it. And because she's saucy. She's saucy. She's a saucy girl. So I think that is about it. Although I do want to show one more thing, and I'm looking for it. I think I have it over here. Hello. Is it underneath here? No. Is it here? Well, I want to show you 2 things. Wow. I have, it must have been like a couple years ago or so. So Little Knits sometimes have blowout sales. Massively blown out sales where you can get like 10 to 20 skeins of yarn for like 80% off. So like this yarn that I got, which is Berroco Chai, which is linen, 56% linen and 44% silk. It says it was a worsted weight. See the 4? It is a light DK. So I was originally going to use this for my cardigan that I just showed you out of the Leisure Knits book. And if I used the needle size recommended, I did get gauge, but it was like so, you could blow through it and it just, disintegrate. That's how I felt. It just wasn't substantial. And you need a substantial background for lace. You need that closed off part so then the lace can shine. So I got this yarn. I got 20 skeins for, I want to say $60 or $65. And normally it was like $250 to $275. I saw this deal and it was like a last chance deal. And I just said, you'd be a fool to pass it up. So this is really nice. When I was working with this, I'm like, well, I'll use wood needles, not metal, because it splits. And I would like to use my 4 square pointy ones because that would be good. I need to do another gauge swatch, but there is, in this pattern, it is this pattern. This pattern I've been looking at for as long as I've had the book. And I think it would look really nice with the lace at the bottom. And then it's a beautiful, you do work from the bottom up and then you add the sleeves. So, and it requires sport weight yarn. And this is a really light DK, so I think I can meet gauge relatively easy. So I'm going to make that out of that. And I might be able to make a tank top out of this stuff too, because I do have 20 skeins. They only come, let's see, it only has, how many yards? It has 142 yards per 50-gram ball. So, yeah. Yeah, and it says you a 6 to 8 needle. I think that's a really big misprint, because when I was looking up online, it would say it's a light DK. And yeah. So anyway, I'm going to do that as well when I want to. When I want to. Now, I was going to teach the kids at the Learn In all about Bargello. I don't have my Bargello books out here at this present moment because I moved them. But when we did not go to the Learn In due to weather conditions, but I did make this. Oh, and it just feels like it has movement. And I just had some extra yarn that I've, like little balls of yarn I have collected over the years. And I just did a little sample. Oh, it's so pretty. I was using, this was the main color, so you do this one first, and then you go, above and below. And then this one was a thin yarn, so I doubled it up just to see what it would look like. And I did some different techniques, like to cover everything better, you can just, wrap it like this. And then if, say, you have a thicker yarn, you can just go up, down, over, up, over, up. Anyway, it's a form of needlepoint. It was a lot of fun. Someone I know can't keep her hands off of it. Or should I say, paws. Because she loves these balls of yarn. Want to smell? Anyway, so crafty, keep on going. I just think it's so pretty though. At first I was like, I don't know about these color choices. And now that I look at it, I'm like, oh, it's kind of, it feels like it's moving. That's a good thing about Bargello, which I learned from Charlie Neebe on the Stitchery. So thank you, Charlie. I really love the community on YouTube for all the crafts, because you can learn so much from so many, and it really makes a big difference. And we don't always have a chance to go to yarn groups, or we don't always have a chance to learn from our elders or whatnot. So, yep, that was that. Now it's time to clean everything up, kitty, so you can't play with it. But why? I like chewing on things. Yes, I know. Oh, so pretty. So pretty. So thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. Stay warm if you're in a cold climate, and stay cool if you're in a warm climate. Take care and have fun. Bye for now.